prediction? Were you right? Were you wrong? What happened with it? Talk to me more about that.
I wasn't really right because I think he does hang out with the boys in chapter 13, but he don't break the news to them that he don't want to be a ringer.
Okay, so when or what made you change your mind? What evidence from the text did you find? Can you go back in the book and find it for me? In chapter 13. What was your spot? You guys were really good at finding text evidence last time. In there to support what you were doing.
I still have one.
You still have yours?
Yeah.
We'll get to yours next. That's his prediction. After what we've heard with her summarizing her question in this, is his prediction correct? Was his prediction correct? Kind of, but it wasn't. So what happens as we read, if our prediction's not correct, what do? We would go back and revise it using text evidence, right, when we read things. And so we're doing that. And he even said you said it's kind of right.
Well, it says in here that he got in his sled and he went with the boys to go sledding. So he didn't ever break the news to him that he doesn't want to be a ringer.
And also because he don't want to, because they and I think it was chapter 12 or so.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the soccer field and they had I think it was Henry as a bird and Nito and Bean shooting the bird with finger guns.
Right. So that text evidence means you got to stop and kind of revise your prediction, and we can do that as we read, right? Like we can change our mind as we read, as we go back and find things.
A pigeon out of his window. What showed you that he panicked?
When his mom came.
So like what happened to make him panic?
What I thought is when a couple chapters back when they went shooting all the pigeons when they were all in this crate, he probably freaked out because maybe maybe he thought they killed all of them, but maybe he thought that they might have missed one or something.
Yeah. But then his mother walks into his room once. Because, I mean, we all have had that point where we're kind of just doing something that we shouldn't have been, and our mother walks in.
I would think I would think it could be a little bit of maybe like the irritation of having his friends wanting to be a ringer and he don't want to. And it could be like maybe his like heart is pounding, you know, how like you have that feeling that they're going to like turn the corner and see him there and say, why don't you ring it?
And his dad's a ringer.
So yeah.
So he could walk upstairs any moment.
I thought it also said that his father's flashlight.
His mom could have been like, hey, there's a pigeon up here.
I think I
His
found
mom
why
might have been laid out.
Okay.
because it says right here that beans would read both of their necks. So he's scared that because he's supposed to be a ringer and he's supposed to kill the pigeons. So when someone finds out like his friend's beans or something, they're gonna freak out and because he's supposed to kill it and ring it, but he don't want to be a ringer, so that's why he's freaked out because he's the one who wants to see that the pigeon does whatever.
Window and he didn't kill it.
And he knows that Bean can snap both of their necks.
I think maybe his friends were coming upstairs, like the friends that love to be a ringer. So he was trying to hide the bird or something because he didn't want him to ring it because he might have seen it as something that might be close to him.
I could immediately see sort of a connection, trying not to jump ahead or anything, but I could already sort of see, since Palmer is kind of sensitive, I guess, that he would get attached to the pigeon. See, he clearly doesn't really enjoy his job as a ringer, so he would obviously get attached to the pigeon.
So you're predicting that we're going to continue reading that Palmer is attached to this pigeon.
Yeah,
and that's what's maybe
I
causing his
basically
panic.
took Daniel's job.
Yes.
You know what though? That's what you're supposed to do though when you read a book. Just because you have one job that was assigned to you doesn't mean that as you're reading and you make a prediction or you're questioning something or you're summarizing what you read, you're supposed to be doing all of those jobs.
And I do actually have a question that I wrote down. How do you think that the boys being Henry Moto's behavior reflects on Palmer's?
What'd you say?
Repeat your question. I didn't understand it either. Repeat your question for me.
How does the boys being Henry Moto's, like how does his behavior, how is it like different from Palmer's? Like how does...
I've already asked this question.
I know, but how does it reflect? Like, how is it?
Oh, you mean like now?
Yeah. Oh.
Now the further that you've read.
Yeah. Well, I guess it could be that since he's just getting used to them now, it's really kind of taking a spin on it because he's not enjoying the ringer thing, and now he's getting a little bit more, I guess, sensitive with things. Like in the beginning, before he knew them, I guess like he was kind of ornery a little bit.
Okay. Before I knew the ringers, he was ornery?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Palmer's kind of like Bella because she don't want to hurt a fly. She couldn't even smack a fly with a fly swatter.
Oh, he's making that text connections. What were you gonna say?
I like agree with Bella, but another thing about the pigeon, another reason why he was freaked out is because his dad, kind of like Bella said, is also a ringer. So the dad would also snap the neck, and he might be in big trouble because he's supposed to kill it.
Okay. Maybe there's a little bit of him that thinks he doesn't want to disappoint his dad, right? Like,
Yeah, he
we
could
don't
feel
wanna-
shame.
Yeah,
about
like
that.
you don't want to disappoint your dad if your dad's a ringer. And he's got all these conflicts. It's been super quiet. You got anything to add?
Maybe he was freaked out because now that he knows what Beans, Malto, and Henry can do, maybe he's a little more freaked out than before because he knows now that since they're kind of friends, he could Beans or his friends could easily come over to his house whenever they want, and
Now he's seeing how raw and real the world is now.
Lily's question, I kind of think that he's scared of him because since, like, with Morelli, she said that they have what they can do. Maybe they would do that. I would think they were be scared of him.
I still have a question for 14.
Okay.
Where do you think the pigeon came from that's at the window? Since we really don't know, where do you think it came from?
Possibly could have been a breakout.
Yeah, he
because
could have been a
you know
breakout
how-
of those
Yeah.
little cages.
Because they would have on the big field, they would have cages, so he might have found a way out. Like when they released the other ones, he might have found his way out, and he might have been like during the blizzard, he might have got blown away over there, and now they have like a connection.
See, that's kind of weird because usually, I don't know if pigeons do this, but they don't stick around when it's cold. Because they usually go to warmer places. So,
They, as in birds or pigeons?
pigeons.
You think? I don't know. I'm asking.
I'm just like wondering, I guess that he got blown by the blizzard because it seems that Family Fest is almost towards its end. So he could have just been trying to migrate and then the blizzard just hit him.
You know, in the beginning of the story, how it said some of them survived. Maybe he
Yeah.
could have been one of those. But he also could have been injured, but still could fly.
I mean, it didn't say that he was lopsided though, because usually it would say that he's lopsided.
I really don't like Beans because for Palmer's
Neither does
birthday,
Mom and
he
Dad.
gave him like a spoon.
Yeah.
He's kind of
And
like
that's
Like,
that's
there's
just
a-
kind of mean.
They just gave him a dirty sock, one dirty sock, a spoon, and an apple core.
excuse my
who
language,
does that?
but he's a dirty little brat.
Yes. Which I asked the question a long time ago of, does it seem that he's kind of poor?
Okay.
Because that kind of environmental type of thing, because he gave him a cigarette butt. So, what kid tries to go to a birthday party and like, here's some trash for your present?
I kind of can connect to. Remember when we read the Watsons go to Birmingham?
Yeah.
What's his name? That was Larry. Larry Dunn. He was like mean to Kenny, really mean, and he was kind of poor because he had tore up shoes and all that.
Yeah, he had a hole in the bottom of his
And Beans is kind of mean, so Beans could possibly be poor too.
Yeah.
That was an awesome connection, by the way.
So the segue into it is that the pigeon comes into his room unexpectedly. It's just flies into his room without any welcoming or anything. It's just like, oh, I'm making
I have some
myself
more-
here at home.
I have some more connection about what he said. Well, they were getting in a fight with Byron because Larry was being mean to Kenny. So when they lifted him up, or what they did when they were trying to beat him up, then when they saw the bottom of his shoe and they saw the cardboard, they realized that he was poor because they had a hole in his shoe, and that and he was like the cool kid that always was like, I'm gonna beat you up and stuff. And now they realize that he is poor and he might need some, like, don't be mean or judge him.
That's a good prediction of,
Connection.
of how you think Beans is, and Palmer is realizing that Beans is poor, and how Kenny and Byron realized how Larry Dunn was poor.